because, no, it's -1, sorry. Your leadership roll because you got hit, and -1 because you lost one guy. So you have to make a leadership roll right now. And your leadership is using your commanders of 9, but -1, so it's 8 or less. So 8 or less on 2 dice. You're fine. Like, do not run. But you lost a guy. That's nothing to complain about. So we've decided, because of certain discussions on the forum, I just want to try this out. Instead of putting down AoEs for smoke grenades and gravity mines, you put down a token, and it works exactly the same as the AoE. It's just that you have to then measure it. So if AoE 3, we'll put down a die, a little die with a 3, and so I'll put it within 6 inches.
So you're going to place it.
Now the rules will change this way, because this means that the token will be placed within 6 inches, and not the full thing, because it used to be that the full thing had to be placed within 6 inches. So this will change it a bit, but it'll change it for everything. I'm just going to use this for reference, because I want to make sure I'm blocking line of sight, which I am. Okay.
Which means that it actually extends past.
Exactly, exactly. But that'll affect everything. Suppression fire will go a little further, placing gravity mines, but it'll affect both sides.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
It's all even.
So that token down there is a 3, that's a smoke grenade. And so you just have to remember that it's everything within 1.5 inches of the center.
Yeah.
If it was an AoE 4, it'd be 2 inches, AoE 5 is 2.5 inches. So.
And that smoke completely blocks line of sight.
That's right, and if it blocks line of sight through it, but you can see into it, but it gives them a level 2 cover and -2 to energy weapons. Strength.
-2 to the strength.
Yeah. So I was able to fire at you at the same time tossing a smoke grenade and blocking your line of sight.
So right now, I shouldn't be able to see you, unless it's on the other side of the 1.5 inch from the center, which I would have to move my guys to do.
Yeah, if you moved into it, then you could see through it.
Yeah.
But obviously you're...
And you can see me too.
Yeah, but then you're really far away.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. You could do that too. You can walk into the smoke so you can see just through it. All right, so that kind of worked out nicely. I'm feeling pretty tactical right now. So my commander's going to go next. Should have done my commander first and took a pot shot at your guy.
Why, because now the smoke's in the way?
Yeah. Yeah, it probably is. Oh, I guess not. It doesn't completely block it, which means I need to be careful.
Well, hold on. Let's go down here. Let's just see.
Well, the 1.5 inches goes out to here.
No, actually, you're right.
Yeah.
You can see him.
Which is a problem, because that means now those guys can move over a bit and see the squad. But we'll see what we can do about that. So commander will go next. He will advance his 6 inches to here. And he will take a shot at your squad.
Okay, not the manipulator.
Right. Because manipulator's got an armor 5 right now. So to nearest to him would be 2 feet. His weapon is range 10, so it's still a -2. So his range skill is 14, plus 1 because of the laser rifle. So it's 15, -2 for the range is 13, -2 cover would be 11, minus your defense of 3, so 8 or less, with a rate of fire of 3. So if I roll 5 or less, I get 3 hits. Uh oh. I'm going to do a reroll. I should be able to get 8 or less. Okay, 6, so that's 2 hits. I'll take that. So this is a strength 6 weapon against your armor of 3.
Yep.
I need 3 or less to kill. Hey, killed 2 guys.
Wow.
That's pretty effective.
That's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe this game is small. Alright, so 2 guys die. And as you're watching this, before you make judgments, watch to the end. Because we've had games where, well, one game that we didn't record is Lanthos Commander annihilated an entire squad of guys with 1 shot at the very first turn, and then lost. So, you have to make a leadership test -2. You're using the leadership test of the manipulator, which is 8.
Let me figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So show your sheet.
Okay, so you got leadership 8, -2. Well, it's 6, then it's easy, right? But why is it -2? Because I lost 2 guys.
2 guys.
Yeah. 6 or less. And I'll use a command point, which I can do now.
Yes, you can.
To make it 6 so I don't run away.
That's right. So it costs you a command point.
Actually, of the squad.
Doesn't really matter, you're going to regenerate both of them.
That's true. Okay.
So far so good, except you lost 3 guys so far.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty good for me. Over here, we got my machine gunnist guy. But if he moves up over here to fire at your guys, he only has a rate of fire 2 for one thing, which I guess is all I need. But he'll be out of the range of the sergeant, so I need to get the sergeant move first. So sergeant's going to activate first. He is going to move up to here. And, oh, still can't see that base.
Yeah, my assassin, I actually moved him back over before he started his first turn. So because it would defeat the purpose if that one base is out in the open, then that's more of a chance that he would see my assassin who's trying to hide.
Exactly. And I'm going to spend 1 point and put him on Overwatch. Like so.
Like so.
Excuse me. So he's on Overwatch looking in that way, so if your assassin comes through, I'll get a perception check on him. Now my sniper will activate, and I'll use 1 command point and put him on Overwatch as well.
Not really much else he can do right now anyway.
Well, if he could run up and get in a better position, but... So I'm going to put him on Overwatch like so. Maybe I should just run him up.
That's what I would do.
He's a sniper, he has long range, so he needs to use that range.
That's it, but it might be totally wasted.
Yeah, I'm going to move him. Okay, so he's got his 2. So he's just going to move and move. But see, I got to get him to a place where he can still shoot. Need to give him a good line of fire, but that means other people have a good line of fire on him. Does he have smoke grenades? No.
No.
He has a grav pack, which is new, but that'll be really useful. Grav pack allows him to ascend terrain as if he was in the effects of the anti-gravity mine, without using an anti-gravity mine.
Without relying on the commander to help him do it.
Exactly. Okay. And the sergeant has smoke grenades and gravity mines, so he's useful that way. So I'm just going to move and move. So move and then move. So he's going to use this window. So he's got a 4 cover right now because of his special rule.
I can barely see him. I can't see him.
That's fine. It's just more if you move out here.
Oh, I see.
That line of fire.
So, okay, it'd be hard to kill you.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to move him out here instead.
Oh, get bold.
Yeah, well, I can still throw a smoke grenade, remember. So he's got his 2 command points. Okay, then I got this guy right here. He's going to move up his 5 inches that he can move. Well, he can see your squad.
Mm-hmm. That's the machine gunnist?
Yes. You are going to get a level 3 cover for having gone for me, because you're partially covered by the building.
Okay.
And so his ranged attack is 14. Sorry. Yeah, it's 14. And it's range 10. So it's a little over 20 inches, so it'll be -2. So it'll be down to 12. Minus a 3 cover, so it's 19, or so it's down to 9. Minus your defense of 3, so we're down to 6. 6 or less. So not an easy shot. Oh, I got super lucky.
Yeah.
Those are 2 hits. His rate of fire is only 2 right now because he moved. If he didn't move, it'd be rate of fire 4, but that wouldn't have made a difference.
Yep.
So we got 2 strength 6 hits coming your way. And this one
Armor of 3, so 3 or less.
So 3 or less, and this one is pinning. So it actually gives you -1 to your leadership test. We're working on a different...
On top of even if...
Yeah, on top of whatever you lose.
Okay.
So 3 or less. So 1 more dies. Your squads are getting picked off at a distance here. Maybe this is unbalanced now against the Xanthos.
Well, it's the first...
We'll see. We haven't seen your turn yet.
The first player that gets first turn, or the player that gets first turn, there seems to be a huge advantage. But it seems like they're slaughtering until the other side goes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I thought when we played in our game, and then you went, and then your assassin killed stuff, and then...
That's true.
And then I eventually lost. So leadership -2, because pinning, and then I lost 1 guy.
That's right.
And their leadership is 8, because manipulator has 8. And 7, I made it. No, I didn't make it,
6.
actually. So I need
1
to
command point to make it.
spend 1 there.
Wow, so that squad is down to 1 out of 4. That was pretty effective. And they still have my flame guy and this squad right here. So this squad is going to go next. They're going to move up 6 inches. They don't have line of sight to anything. They're going to throw down a... This guy's going to throw down a smoke grenade.
Might as well.
It's going to block my Overwatch, though.
Then by all means, please.
Yeah, but if I don't... Well, I guess if you stand up front and I shoot you and you fail your leadership test, then you lose the rest of your activation.
Unless you put the smoke in them.
That's true. I could always cover him with the smoke, giving me -2 strength to your energy weapons.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea. I'll do that. So he's going to drop the smoke grenade right here, so they are all under its influence. And now the squad won't be though. but the other guys can still move. So he'll have dropped it.
Change battery pack.
So the rest of the squad can still move. So I'm going to move this guy back here so he's within 1.5 inches.
Now let's refresh our memories. Do they have a modifier when they're shooting out?
No.
Okay.
It won't matter because it'll disappear at the beginning of my next turn anyway.
Yeah, it's just for me shooting at you purposes.
Yeah, so now at least half the squad is covered by it. So all these areas are going to get a level 2 cover, which means he'll get a level 3.
Because he gets his dug-in
bonus, yeah. And -2 to energy weapon strength. So that'll be very effective. Okay, and last but not least, I got my flame launcher.
Still another guy. You see anything?
No.
Okay.
He'd have to move pretty far out, and he won't be able to shoot them. He's only got a 5-inch movement. Look at this for the Electron Master. Wouldn't that be nice to shoot in there?
It would be. In fact, no, I can't.
You can't. There's a smoke grenade in the way.
Unless I move and.
But still,
On the other
it's
side.
covering. It's covering pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get him into a better position. Actually, I'm gonna have him go this way. He's gonna go 5, and then up to here. So he's blocked by the line of sight. Okay, that's it. Slanthos, turn 1.
Okay, so regenerate.
Yeah. No, the squad doesn't regenerate when there's only one guy left,
Who's good? That's
and they didn't use any, so they're fine.
all right.
So some heavy losses on the Xanthos side already.
Yeah, I'd say.
It almost feels like there should be like a 1 more modifier to everybody's defense. Like everybody's defense should be 1 higher. Because this shooting across the board is too effective. It's meant to be a closer range combat game. So, discuss that on the forums. What do you think? All right, so what are you
I
gonna
can't
do?
even shoot at you. Blocking line of sight, and then there's that terrain.
Yeah.
So, but what I can do.
It's like I planned that or something.
What I can do is move up. Move up 6. Right there. The squad is going to follow.
So hold on, don't have him follow. Let him finish his activation first. He still has an action to do.
Oh yeah, true. So I'm just still thinking of 40k mode.
Yep.
Okay, so his action is going to be Overwatch.
That's just it.
Yeah, I'll Overwatch. Is there an arc, or is it like?
You gotta grab one of those 90-degree templates that are over there. You place that down with obviously the pointed end touching him. Well, it's important that it touches him because the angle is calculated from that.
Do that. So that should cover both windows.
Yep. So really what it should be doing, I guess I have to specify this more in the rules, is it's directly pointing towards him, not just touching. Okay. So you should be able to achieve the same thing.
So that's what he's doing. Now the squad behind
Now one thing you can take into consideration is the smoke grenade is blocking your line of sight right now. But it'll dissipate at the beginning of my turn. So if you put guys here, even him included, on Overwatch, and they can see those models, if the smoke grenade wasn't there, then that means once the smoke grenade drops and I try to move, you can Overwatch fire me. But the squad doesn't do Overwatch, remember, only he can. Squads don't go in Overwatch. They do suppressing fire. So that's something to consider for him, rather than putting him up there, because I don't think he'll have line of sight on them. Hold on, I'm going to check. He'll have line of sight. His line of sight is like this, so he doesn't see them right now, but if they try to advance, he will see them. So it's not a bad location, necessarily.
I'm trying to be greedy, though. I'm trying to do both.
Right, so that you can cover this guy as well.
I don't know if I can.
Whereas if you came out like right here and put him on Overwatch, you'd actually be able to see them. And as soon as that smoke grenade dropped and they tried to move, they'd have to drop a smoke grenade before they moved, which means they wouldn't have line of sight to you easily enough. So it'd be tough.
So what are your options then if I do that? Let's say you don't want to move because you don't want to be shot at with an electron masser.
Then I'd have to shoot at you from that range.
And then I would get no cover.
Right.
And that's closer range.
Although, hold on, I can't remember if I took that out of the rules. If somebody takes an action within your line of sight in Overwatch, I think you actually get to interrupt that action as well. Shoot, it didn't all print off. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm going to go check.
Verdict?
So I just found it, and it's interesting because I don't have it written in there, but I do. It's rules as written, but not rules as intended. The wording says that instead of interrupting the movement, the guy on Overwatch can opt to wait until they are finished their movement and then take the shot. So rules as intended is if the guys didn't move, they didn't take their movement. But rules as written, when you activate a squad, they do their movement, then their action. If you choose to stand still, they are finished their movement. So if you do the rules as written, then the Overwatch can fire if a model is in line of sight but chooses not to move. So you basically fire before they take their action. I like that rules as written. I think that's a better intent. And so I'm going to put a clarifying thing in there. So you'll basically, if the smoke grenade, basically if you stand out in the open, the smoke grenade clears and my guys decide to stand still, you can then take a shot at them.
Interesting. Yeah, because they're right out in the open. That would make sense, right?
And in fact, this is interesting for tactics. You could interrupt the movement before they even move. So you're going to have a clear shot at them all clumped together.
How's that? How do I interrupt the movement before they move?
Well, because I'm about to move, you can interrupt a movement that you can see at any point.
With the Overwatch, right?
Right. And so you interrupt it before I even start. They're left clumped together. You fire Electron Master into them and they die. Discuss that on the forums. How do you like that? That's definitely the ways the rules are written. So I would do that, because it basically allows you to... It kind of counters the smoke grenade. Although, you know what? There is a way for me to counter that. But it means I won't be able to fire at you. Because at any point in your movement or action, you can throw the smoke grenade. So I can throw the smoke grenade before I move. And then move. And so that'll block your line of sight. But then,
you get to move out of the smoke and shoot at me?
But if I move into your line of sight, then you get to interrupt that movement and shoot. So either way, the only way I can shoot at you is if you get to shoot at me first.
Okay.
That's what Overwatch essentially does. That you cannot shoot at somebody unless you get outside of their arc. Unless you're like not within their 90-degree arc. So that's interesting. This is interesting mechanics that we're kind of figuring out, or tactics, I should say. Yeah. So make sure he has the rest of his command points with him. So they can still they can still avoid getting an Electron Master while they're all clumped together, but it's going to require a smoke grenade. So you're essentially forcing them to toss another smoke grenade, and they'll have to it'll force them to attack that squad over there rather than your commander. So that's interesting. So I could keep throwing smoke grenades so your commander never gets to fire at them until he moves up. But that forces me to doing something else. You're basically forcing my tactics, which is the whole idea. It's about manipulating where your opponent goes. Okay.
I like that though.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Feels right.
Makes Overwatch as powerful as it should be.
Yeah, now you have to use a command point for the Overwatch.
Okay.
Okay, so next.
All right, and you said they don't have Overwatch, but they have...
They have Suppression Fire. That's where they put down the AoE. And if anybody moves into the AoE or ends their movement in the AoE, they take automatic hits, D3 automatic hits.
Okay.
So that's not going to be too useful at this point. Actually, if you move forward and you can drop it here.
I'll do that, because there's not really much else I can do.
Yeah. Now they have to move into the AoE.
Right.
Not just into line of sight. So it'll be hard to place it in such a way that he can't just sidestep it.
That's true.
It's better for like corridors. Like you'd place it like right here. And it's pretty hard to move, and then you wouldn't be able to move through it.
And the AoE is just regular 3-inch?
Well, it depends on how many models are part of it. With 2 to 3 models, it's 3-inch. With 4 to 5 models, it's 4 inches.
Any AoE is a die now, right?
Yes. If it's going to remain in play. Otherwise, you can just hold it.
And this is an action. I don't have to use a command point for this.
You do have to use a command point for suppressing fire.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. And you place it within double the range of your weapon. So your range is 10, so you can place it within 20 inches of the model. All models have to be within 20 inches of it, though. So basically, you measure from the back to where you want to put it.
Measure from the back is what you're saying.
And they all have to be able to see wherever you put it. So you can't like put it right here, because that's going to be blocking line of sight.
So I got to move them over then.
Yeah. Yeah, unless you're just going to place it like right here. If you can place it where he's actually already in it, then if he stands still, he'll take hits from it.
So if you stand still or move?
No, if he moves, it's if you move into or end your movement in it.
But it didn't say beginning.
Right. So if he starts in it, he can move out of it. So it forces somebody out of cover. But
or somewhere else, right?
But in this case, if you put him in it, then he could just go past it and then fire at you.
Yeah.
And you're all clumped up.
That wouldn't be good.
So in this case, you want to put it in a way that he won't be. It'll be hard for him to move out.
And does this scatter?
No.
Okay, and it's within 20 inches?
Yes.
And I will place it...
20. See that?
Yeah, I got more.
Basically wherever you want, as long as it's line of sight. Because of how far it is.
So that should be good, because it's an inch and a half.
No, it's 4.
It is 4.
It's an AoE 4.
Oh, okay.
because you have 4 guys involved. 2 to 3, it's AoE 3. 4 guys or 5 guys.
Oh, so
AoE
the
4.
more guys. So it'd be 5 then if there was another guy there.
Right. No, 4 to 5 is 4 inches. 6 guys is 5 inches.
Oh, okay. So there was a.
So you just want to measure from there. Am I within that 2 inches? Because you don't want me to be.
Oh, so I can pre-measure.
You can always pre-measure right now. Yep, you're fine. And either way, you could pre-measure at this point anyways, as you're putting it down, to get things into the AoE.
Okay. So that's what I'll.
Because if you had the actual AoE, you'd be able to move it around until you saw how many it was covering.
Okay.
Now, just to warn you, what I am going to be able to do is move back over here and then fire at you.
Okay, so then that's useless.
So what you want to do probably is place it as far back as you can and make it so I can't move through it.
Okay. Because
So you force me.
anywhere moving there, so you get line of sight shoot at me, you're going to be shot at with the suppression fire. If that's placed there.
Yeah. So
Unless you move all the way back.
Exactly. I might be able to get back here and get line of sight. We'll see though.
Yeah.
It'll be a tough call.
But it'll be a little bit harder for you to hit me.
Yep, and you'll have cover bonus.
Okay. All right.
But you are clumped together, and it's an AoE weapon that'll be firing at you.
Yeah.
So if I hit you, you're dead.
Most
Okay.
likely.
Okay. So.
All right. So I'll do the assassin last. Okay. Now what the frick to do with this? Oh. Okay. Well. Yeah. Let's peg that guy off because.
Who?
there's not
Peg who
much
off?
else I can get. Machine gunist.
I see.
So. Oh yes. Yeah. I know. I'm gonna move here. Stay in cover from here, guys.
Can he see this guy?
No, not right now. Hold on. Let's see if. Yeah.
Yeah, he can?
Cannot see.
Okay. Then you're safe.
That means if you move over, you still can't see.
That's right.
So.
And what's he going to do?
Hold
He's
on.
got his dark manipulator. Oh, you got to declare. Are you going to get +3 armor versus ballistic or energy?
Well, judging by the. Oh, right, because it's.
Two next.
What does he have? What kind of weapon does he
Everybody's ballistic except for the commander.
have? Okay, then ballistic, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'll stay there because then I can see you. And then this guy, he'll move up.
So you're not going to do anything with your manipulator?
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to throw down any gravity mines or?
Right, I still have to get my mind out of moving, shooting, assaulting. So he is going to shoot his dark manipulator, and he's
So-
going to use the ability.
So he's going to use the shooting ability, basically.
Yeah.
The one that crushes him. Now to warn you, my heavy weapon specialist is only armor 2.